In the quiet streets of Ipswich, Queensland, a sinister shadow loomed, disrupting the peace in November 1987. Ipswich, a town typically wrapped in a serene atmosphere, with its quaint cafes and the gentle murmur of the Bremer River, found itself at the center of a chilling series of events. The tranquility was first shattered when Cheryl Mortimer, a local resident, narrowly escaped an attack in a seemingly safe parking lot. This encounter involved a mysterious couple, an ominous presence in a white Holden Kingswood station wagon. Cheryl's harrowing experience was just the beginning. Soon after, two nurses from Ipswich General Hospital faced similar perilous encounters. These incidents were not isolated but hinted at a disturbing pattern. A pattern that suggested a targeted malice towards unsuspecting women, a shadow creeping in broad daylight. These troubling events set the stage for a decade-long mystery that would span across Queensland. As fear gripped Ipswich, more reports surfaced, painting a picture of a malevolent duo on the prowl. The town, once a quiet haven, was now the backdrop for a series of chilling encounters, all eerily similar and increasingly frequent. Victims described the same white Holden Kingswood station wagon, and the descriptions of the suspects were unsettlingly consistent. The local police force, already stretched thin, found themselves grappling with a growing pile of reports. Each account added another layer of complexity to the investigation. The community's anxiety swelled as whispers of the white station wagon circulated through town. It seemed every shadow could be hiding the sinister couple, and every white car held potential doom. Despite numerous eyewitness accounts, the evidence remained frustratingly circumstantial. No fingerprints, no definitive forensic leads, just a haunting presence that loomed over Ipswich. The police worked tirelessly, piecing together testimonies in hopes of forming a solid case. With each passing day, the urgency to catch the culprits grew, yet they remained shadows, slipping through the fingers of law enforcement. Fast forward to 1997, the tranquility of another Queensland town, Noosa, was shattered by the disappearance of young Shawn Kingi. Nestled along the Sunshine Coast, Noosa is typically known for its stunning beaches and laid-back lifestyle. But in the summer of that year, the seaside paradise became the backdrop for a heart-wrenching mystery. 12-year-old Shawn, known for her vibrant smile and academic prowess, was last seen pedaling her bicycle home after a joyful shopping day with her mother. It was a route she had taken countless times before, yet on this fateful day, she never made it home. The news of her disappearance spread like wildfire, igniting a profound sense of urgency throughout the community. Neighbors, local businesses, and volunteers from surrounding areas banded together in a robust search operation. Flyers with Shawn's bright-eyed photo were plastered on every lamppost and storefront, each corner echoing with calls for her safe return. The local police, alongside specialized search teams, combed through the dense bushland and along the winding coast. But each day closed with the sun setting on empty hands and heavy hearts. In the midst of this despair, the community's spirit of unity only grew stronger. Candlelight vigils were held, with residents holding on to hope, and prayers whispered under the breath of a town too familiar with peaceful evenings now pierced by the echo of a missing child's laughter. As days turned into weeks with no sign of Shawn, hope dwindled, but the resolve to find answers did not. A breakthrough came when an unexpected discovery linked past to present. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a young man, wandering through the serene yet secluded area near Castaways Creek, stumbled upon a horrifying sight. There, partially concealed by the underbrush, were the remains of 12-year-old Shawn Kingi. The community of Noosa, already gripped by fear and sorrow, felt a renewed urgency to solve the mystery of her disappearance. Just days after this grim discovery, a hiker reported a peculiar sight: a dusty white station wagon with foreign license plates, abandoned near the edge of a local highway. This wasn't just any vehicle. It bore a striking resemblance to the one linked to past crimes in Ipswich over a decade earlier. The pieces began to fall into place. Authorities, revitalized by this lead, intensified their efforts. Connecting this vehicle to the earlier incidents breathed new life into a case that had chilled the hearts of Queensland residents. This clue was the missing piece that would begin to unravel the web of mystery surrounding these sinister figures. Investigators delved deep, unearthing chilling connections and past crimes. In a meticulous pursuit of justice, detectives began piecing together a timeline that spanned a decade, revealing a disturbing pattern of behavior from Beck and Barry Watts. First, they revisited the Ipswich incidents. Witnesses had reported a white Holden Kingswood station wagon, eerily similar to the one seen a decade later in Noosa. Combing through old files, detectives found minor but consistent reports of suspicious activities involving a couple matching the descriptions of Beck and Watts. This couple had seemingly vanished, leaving behind a trail of fear and unanswered questions. The breakthrough came when they connected the vehicle to Noosa's cold case. The white station wagon, now with foreign plates, was traced back to Beck. This discovery was pivotal. It wasn't just the vehicle's appearance in both towns that caught the detectives' attention. It was the timing of its registration changes and the couple's movements that lined up with the timeline of the disappearances. Investigators then delved into Beck and Watts' criminal past. They uncovered a history of minor offenses escalating into more serious crimes, painting a portrait of a duo growing increasingly bold and dangerous. This pattern suggested a progression that fit the crimes in Ipswich and Noosa. With suspects finally in sight, law enforcement geared up for a confrontation that would bring long-awaited answers. The stage was set for a decisive encounter that promised to unravel the mysteries of the past and serve justice for the victims and their families. In the dense wilds of Timbira Mountains State Forest, a grim discovery brought a tragic story to its climax. As the sun set, casting elongated shadows through the undergrowth, the heart-rending reality settled in. The search for young Shawn Kingi had reached its sorrowful conclusion. Nestled among the dense foliage, authorities uncovered Shawn's remains, a discovery that shook the core of the Noosa community and beyond. The breakthrough in this heart-wrenching case came when forensic experts stepped in, their skills pivotal in piecing together the chilling narrative. Soil samples from the crime scene matched traces found in the wheel wells of the white Holden Kingswood station wagon, a vehicle that had haunted the streets of Ipswich a decade earlier. Fibers from Shawn's clothing, heartbreakingly intertwined with the earth, provided a silent testimony that led straight to Beck and Barry Watts. The arrest of Beck and Watts was swift, as law enforcement, fueled by both community outrage and a meticulous collection of evidence, closed in. The couple was apprehended in a rundown motel on the outskirts of Brisbane, their years of evading justice finally over. Interrogations revealed a cold indifference to the fate they had imposed on their victims, their confessions painting a stark portrait of remorselessness. Forensic technology, which included DNA analysis and the matching of soil compositions, played a crucial role. The tire treads of the station wagon, analyzed and compared with marks found near the initial crime scenes, solidified Beck and Watts' connection to not only Shawn's demise but potentially to other unsolved cases in the Queensland area. As the gavel came down in the courtroom months later, the weight of evidence left no room for doubt. Beck and Watts faced the consequences of their heinous actions, the shadows of their past finally catching up with them. Justice seemed imminent, but the pain of loss would leave lasting scars on the community. As the gavel fell on this harrowing case, the strength of a community and the pursuit of justice stood tall. This story, a grim reminder of human frailty and the darkness that can lurk in seemingly peaceful places, has now reached its denouement. We began in the quiet town of Ipswich, where the unsettling pattern of attacks first surfaced. The distress and fear that rippled through the community were palpable. Yet it was the disappearance of young Shawn Kingi in Noosa that marked a pivotal moment in this saga. The loss of such a young soul not only deepened the wound, but also galvanized an entire community into action. The relentless efforts of law enforcement, combined with the vigilant eyes of the locals, slowly peeled back the layers of this mystery. The discovery of Shawn's remains was a heart-wrenching moment, yet it was crucial in bringing the necessary pieces of the puzzle to light. The connection to the sinister white station wagon and its nefarious occupants, Beck and Barry Watts, was a major breakthrough that set the stage for justice. The capture and subsequent trial of Beck and Watts were not just a closure of a case, but a testament to the dogged determination of a community that stood resilient against the tides of adversity. The courtroom, where the final chapter of this ordeal unfolded, was a scene of mixed emotions. Relief intertwined with sorrow, justice mingled with loss. Reflecting on this case, we see not just the darkness of the acts committed, but the shining light of communal strength. The importance of vigilance, the unwavering pursuit of justice, and the resilience of a community are the beacons that guide us through such trials. In remembering the victims and the tireless efforts to bring their perpetrators to justice, we are reminded of our collective responsibility to protect and support one another in times of crisis. This story, etched in the annals of a small Australian town, serves as a stark reminder of the vigilance we must maintain and the unity we must foster to prevent such tragedies in the future.